Hey guys, what is up, and welcome back to another season of RoboMania. I know, guys, I know, I already know what you're gonna say. It's been a long freaking time since I have done a RoboMania, but it's back, it's in style. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, it's in style though, guys, okay? Yeah, but we got an awesome season ahead of you guys this season, RoboMania Season 3. We have 64 robots coming in, clashing together to see who can come out as champion, and I am so excited for this season. We got 64 freaking robots, like I said before, and we got some awesome returning robots. We got the two champions from the previous season coming back, returning into this tournament, and we also have a lot of new robots that want to make their say into this tournament. We got a couple robots made by other people. We got a lot of robots made from designs and my other series that I got going on, the Robot Arena 2 series, and I am excited for this, guys. We got a lot of returning, like I said, but we also got a lot of new robots as well. So let's jump right into it, and let me explain to you guys the rules of this season. We got, like I said, 64 robots that are going to be clashing head-to-head against each other, so therefore there are going to be 32 fights in the first round. And every robot that wins will progress on into the next round until there's only 8 robots remaining. The final 8 robots will progress into the playoffs of RoboMania, and you won't see that until the final episode. But from there, 4 robots that have lost their previous rounds, the previous fights that they were in, and they will fight their way into the tournament of the playoffs and see if they can actually progress into the playoffs. So altogether, there are going to be 8 robots that will win out in the tournament. They have to win 4 fights in order to get into the actual playoffs itself, and then from there, the robots that have lost previously, well, 4 of them will fight their way into the actual playoffs. So there will be a 12 robot playoff at the end of this season, and the winner from all of those will be crowned the champion. The rules for this season are the robots have 3 minutes to immobilize or destroy the other robot. If they don't do that in the 3 minutes, they will go down to a judge's decision where the judges will decide between the two and to see who will progress on into the next round. There are no tiebreakers, it is just a one-win robot will move on and the loser will be eliminated. If a robot loses a wheel and is not able to move or gets flipped upside down and cannot move, that robot will be pronounced immobilized and will lose that fight. If a robot is flipped out of the arena or somehow gets knocked out of it, that robot is also eliminated from the fight. Essentially, what the one robot has to do is destroy or immobilize the other robot in order to progress on into the next round. If it cannot do that, then that robot will lose. There are 3 categories that the judges will be looking at to decide a tiebreaker between 2 robots. Those categories include the amount of damage that has been struck upon another robot, the amount of points that have been dealt in-game towards the other robot, and the aggression of a robot. The arena that we are going to be playing in today is the Beans Arena. And of course, I played this in the Season 2. It's one of my favorite arenas. There's a lot of deadly components and a lot of dangerous hazards inside this robots. First of all, there is a deadly spinning blade that gets released 1 minute into the match. The next deadliest thing is the flippers. There are 4 flippers inside of the arena that flip a robot across the arena and possibly even outside of the arena. Now that brings up another subject, that there are pretty small walls in this arena, so flipping robots do have a pretty significant way of flipping out another robot to progress on to the next round. As I was saying before, there are 64 robots in this tournament, and therefore there are 4 different quadrants in this tournament itself. Each quadrant holds 16 robots, ranking 1 all the way up to 16, and 1 representing the strength of the robot, 16 representing the weakness. So if you are a number 1 robot, you are pretty strong, you're probably going to win. 16, probably not so much. Alright, let's take a look at this first quadrant in this tournament, and we got some pretty recognizable names. We got the number 1 ranked overall, Emergency, the Season 1 champion, returning and still ranked number 1. Hopefully, Emergency can keep up what it was doing and progress on into the championship. We also got some pretty awesome robots as well. We got Coal Miner returning with a pretty big upgrade. We got Revenge, also with a pretty big upgrade. And we got a pretty interesting robot called Heartbreaker, designed by my girlfriend actually. And it's a pretty slow robot, but it's a pretty deadly robot as well, coming in at rank 15 as an underdog. And Quadrant B, we got some pretty awesome robots as well. We got Spyder, which is a fan-made robot, and hopefully that robot can do some work. It's a pretty awesome flipping robot. We got Stinger, which is a nice scorpion-looking design, coming in at number 2. And coming in at number 3, we got Supersonic, which is also a pretty deadly robot. Another robot I want to point out in the Banter Wars, which is another Robot Arena 2 tournament series going on. We got Fish Power, which is a robot designed by A Heap of Games, which is an awesome guy. Go check him out if you want. A little sponsor in the middle of the video. But we got Fish Power, which is an awesome flipping robot that did very well in the Banter Wars tournament as well. Quadrant C is very deadly. Let me tell you guys, this one is scary looking. We got number 1 overall Bandit, which is a very deadly drummer robot. The drum on this robot is very scary. Trust me, it's very, very scary. We got Raptor returning from Season 1. And we also got Eye Poker, who comes in at number 6, returning from Season 1. And also, coming in at number 3, we got the Boxer, which was a pretty deadly robot that was coming from Season 1, and it wants to make a return. I believe the Boxer is going to do very well in this tournament. We also have King Hazard returning from Season 2, one of the most destructive robots in the history of RoboMania. King Hazard. Little bit of a downgrade, however, because it had to match the amount of weight and the amount of damage that can be applied for this tournament. So there was a little bit of a downgrade. It isn't as deadly of a robot as it was before, but it is making a return, and it is still a pretty decent robot. So another underdog to look forward to is number 10 overall King Hazard going up against Dr. Puncture. And the final quadrant, we got HammerHead, which is a design in the next season, Season 3 of Banter Wars, designed by me. I think it's a really good robot overall. It progressed on into, and I believe it's actually going to do pretty well. It showed its strength in the qualifications. It's pretty good. We got some good robots designed by the Heap of Games, and we got Bone Bugger Upper coming up against Penetrator 2. Both of those robots are designed by A Heap of Games. So look out for that fight. That's going to be a pretty good one as well. And we also got All In coming in at number 2, a very powerful pushing robot that has some pretty deadly weapons on the front of it. So look out for all of these robots. This is going to be an awesome tournament. Alright guys, the time's up. Let's jump into our first match. We got the Season 1 champion returning for its first fight in Season 3. We got Emergency, a very powerful flipping robot, can do pretty much anything you want. It's very powerful, has a lot of good flipping mechanics, and it can push a robot really anywhere it wants. And we got that robot going up against Crunch. Crunch is an interesting designed robot. It is a spinning, kind of a drum kind of robot. It has 2 little blades on both sides that can spin around, doesn't do a lot of damage. However, those blades can work upside down as well. So if this robot gets flipped upside down, it can still work and it can still cause some damage. So let's jump into this first fight. We got Emergency up against Crunch. 3, 2, 1. Let the match begin. We got Emergency going up really fast against Crunch. Tries to get a flip in, but can't really get it down. We got Crunch trying to do something, actually doing some damage against Emergency, but Crunch is now on top of Emergency. Emergency trying to flip it inside the pit of the spinning blade. Can't do it though. Crunch is back on its wheels. Crunch is doing pretty good compared to as I thought it was going to do. But Emergency is doing strong. Both of the flippers come off of Emergency. The first fight, Emergency already has no flippers left. This is already getting interesting. This is very interesting already. Emergency was supposed to dominate this fight, but Crunch is coming out strong and actually did damage to both the flippers that can't work anymore. So now it's just a pushing game for Emergency. And something else just flew off of somebody, not sure who it was. It looks like it was part of Crunch, the little holder that keeps it upright. So if it gets flipped over, it might not look good for Crunch anymore. But there still is damage being done by Crunch to Emergency. And now it looks like Crunch is getting a little bit of a push, but Emergency pushes back. This is a very interesting fight already. I thought this wasn't going to be as close as it is right now. Emergency has a bit of damage on the front as well. If Emergency gets eliminated in the first round, in its first fight where it reappeared back in, then this is going to be a huge shocker. Emergency being a really very powerful robot. But it just looks like nothing's really getting done between the two robots right now. They're both kind of in a stalemate where Crunch is just getting pushed into the wall as Emergency just tries to keep it there and hold it there for a bit. Robot is going to be getting counted down soon. Oh, there is smoke, however, coming out of Crunch. And a huge hit by Emergency. That was a huge hit right there. Crunch is probably not doing as well as everyone's thinking now. If it could get some good damage, however, though, on these robots. The flippers are now activated, so this is probably big. If any of the robots land or drive on top of these flippers, the corners of the arena, then there will be a robot flying around everywhere. And Emergency cannot work upside down without those flippers. So, if Emergency gets flipped over, it is game over for Emergency. But it looks like Crunch is getting pushed onto the arena. He gets flipped across the arena, and that will do it. Emergency progresses on into the next round in a close yet surprising fight. Emergency wins it by knockout. Our next fight is between the number 2 ranked Coal Miner versus the number 15th ranked Heartbreaker. Coal Miner making another appearance from Season 1 into Season 3. This is a different looking robot, however. It has 2 spinning blades compared to 1 as it had before, which means it's double as deadly, and it is a very powerful robot. It can work upside down, so if it gets flipped, it doesn't matter. It'll still work at optimum power, and I think this robot is going to make it pretty far in this tournament. But it is going up against a pretty decent robot, Heartbreaker, designed by my girlfriend. This robot is all about defense. It's not fast, it doesn't have a good weapon. However, if a robot runs into it at full power, it will cause damage to that robot because of how much machinery and how much weaponry is on this robot, just sticking out, poking out everywhere. Like I said, it's a super slow robot, but it has a chance. It definitely has a chance. Let's get into this battle. 3, 2, 1, and the match has begun between Coal Miner and Heartbreaker. Heartbreaker doesn't do much to start out the match, and Coal Miner goes straight towards the front of Heartbreaker. And Heartbreaker's now backing up. It doesn't know what to do. It was expecting a full-on rush towards it, but Coal Miner is a different type of robot that just takes its time and sees what it can do. However, I believe that Coal Miner's weaponry might be damaged trying to get past this exterior defense of Heartbreaker, but let's see how it turns out. Coal Miner is just trying to get past it right now. It's causing some damage to itself as it does it, but it's also taking off a lot of pieces of Heartbreaker. This is going to be an interesting fight. It could go either way, honestly. This is a 2 versus 15. Typically 2s win this easily, but this is one of a hybrid fight that is going to be happening here. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff flying off of Heartbreaker right now, and I'm assuming there's a lot of damage being caused to Heartbreaker as well. Oh, it's almost backing up into the spinning blade. Barely misses it, though. This robot has not been in the attack at all. Heartbreaker is not doing anything really to impress any of the judges right now if this were to go to a judge's decision. However, Coal Miner is also doing a really good job just attacking right now. That's all it's doing. It's just attacking. It hasn't really been attacked yet. Those weapons are probably going to need to be changed though after this fight. Ooh, there's a big hit to Heartbreaker. Another big hit to Heartbreaker, and this game is over. Coal Miner, winner by knockout. And for our next fight, we got another 1 versus 16 from Quadrant B. This is going to be Spyder, an awesome designed robot. It is designed by Bad Wolf Gaming. It is an awesome flipping robot that does a lot of damage. It's very low to the ground. It could definitely get in the way of a lot of good robots here. And it is going up against Push'em, a very weak but powerful at the same time kind of robot. It has only 2 wheels that are exterior, pushes robots, and that's about all it does. It's not a fantastic robot, but let's see how this one turns out. 3, 2, 1, let's get into this fight. Push'em versus Spyder. They both go the wrong way, and then instantly Spyder flips Push'em upside down. Nothing really much to it. I expect this one to be kind of a blowout of a game. Tries to put him on the flipper, but the flipper isn't activated until 1 minute left of the fight. so 2 minutes have to pass until the flipper is activated. This might instantly be a KO because it is immobilized. It can't get up from being upside down. I think this game is over. It is being counted out right now, and it is over. Spyder wins by immobilizing Push'em. Our next match between a 2 versus 15 seed, it is Stinger, an awesome scorpion-like robot that has awesome pincers and even a very powerful tail, which is a hammer, that comes down on robots, causes an immaculate amount of damage. It is a very well-designed robot. I think this robot is going to go pretty far in the tournament itself. Going up against a design made by my girlfriend, yet again, Honeycomb. A similar design robot, yet it doesn't have any pincers or anything like that. All it does is bring down a very powerful axe-like hammer weapon, and that's all it really does. So we're going to have 2 axe robots going head-to-head against each other. 2 versus 15, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Honeycomb versus Spyder. Or, not Spyder. Honeycomb versus, what is Stinger? That's its name. Stinger instantly breaks off the wheel protections of Honeycomb and pushes it right into a wall. Goes straight for the mechanic that causes the weapon to come down, and this one is already looking over. The axe is already fallen off of Honeycomb, and this one's already looking pretty sad. Oh my goodness, the other wheel protector has now fallen off, and this one is pretty much over. This is a very deadly robot, Stinger right here, and this one already looks like it's over. Last hit right there. Stinger progresses on with style into the next round by KOing Honeycomb. And we got another fight coming up to you, 1 versus 16. We got Bandit, number 1 ranked overall. This robot is extremely deadly. It actually had to take off a couple of its weapons because it was so deadly. So it has 4 spinning axes as kind of like a drum shape on the front of the robot. It has exposed wheels, however, it doesn't really function upside down also. That is probably the only one weakness of Bandit, and it's going up against the 16th overall Cheese. Cheese is a funny robot. All it does is flip. There's really nothing to it. Nothing much to show about Cheese, so let's jump right into the fight. We got Bandit versus Cheese, and the match has begun. I expect Bandit to extremely destroy this, but if Cheese flips over Bandit like it's doing right now, the game will be over for Bandit. So it's kind of if it happens, it's over, but if not, Cheese is going to get destroyed, and I think Cheese is just getting destroyed right now. Oh man, this is already looking interesting. We got Cheese just kind of ramping up. Bandit almost flipping it over, but doesn't quite flip it over. Bandit seems a little stuck on top, and neither of the robots are moving. However, the spinner for Bandit has stopped. I wonder what's happening here. I think Cheese might be getting counted out. I think this match is over. This match is over. Bandit wins by immobilization, which pretty much just stood on top of Cheese and KO'd Cheese by doing said thing. And for another 2 versus 15 seed fight, we got Raptor returning from Season 1. Pretty decent robot, very fast, powerful weapon, and what else can I say? It's a Raptor. It's pretty freaking beast. And it's going up against Recovery, which is a similar robot. It's a hammer type style robot. Isn't one of the best though, it's very weak, and I don't see this robot progressing very far. But let's get into the fight. 3, 2, 1, let the match begin. Raptor versus Recovery, and here we go. Recovery instantly goes for the wheel, hits the wheel of Raptor, and it looks like Raptor's now balancing on top of Recovery, which is interesting. This is a very interesting fight. Raptor now doing some pretty deep hits onto Recovery, but now Recovery is getting a couple hits back in, and pretty much the robot that hits off the hammer of the other robot is going to be the winner. So whatever robot does that first will win. Recovery is getting a little bit of cheap hits on Raptor right now, not doing a lot of damage, but they're hits. That's all that really matters. Oh, Recovery is now underneath Raptor, and so is the hammer weapon, so it can't actually do anything, and now they all back up from each other, separate a little bit, and go back in at each other. Raptor gets a pretty big hit from behind on Recovery. That is interesting to see. Oh man, Raptor almost flipped itself. These robots, if they flip themselves, I don't think they have the power to right themselves after they get flipped. This is an interesting fight. They're getting very close to the spinning blade. Raptor has a lot of frontal damage. This is not looking good for Raptor, actually. Raptor is taking a lot of front damage, but I feel like if a couple good hits from Raptor, it'll move on. Raptor did very well in the qualifications and defeated almost every robot. That's why it's ranked number 2 overall. Didn't do very well in Season 1, however, but this qualification, it got a little bit of upgrades from batteries, so it was more of a powerful robot overall. It didn't have anything changed to it other than the interior stuff. Recovery, however, is trying to do its best right now, and it looks like Recovery's on top of this fight so far. Raptor backs up, tries to get a little bit of space between the two robots, and the flippers are going to be activated in 5 seconds. So, oh, there goes the hammer of Recovery. And is Recovery going to be on the flipping? No, it is not. It got off right in time. Are they going to be backing up onto it, though? They're getting very close. A wheel is on top of the flipper, and ooh, they're getting so close again. Can Raptor finish this fight? I don't think Raptor wants this to go into a judge's decision, because it's leaning a little bit towards Recovery right now. Oh man, this is getting interesting. We got about 35 seconds left in this fight. Raptor's trying its best to get through, but I don't think it can. I really don't think it has. Oh, there's a good hit though. Prove me wrong, Raptor. I don't know if it has the power though. It's slowing down. We got 20 seconds left in the fight. If anything goes on the flipper, it's game over. Either one of these robots, it's game over. And they're getting so close to it both times. 8 seconds left in the fight. I think this is going to a judge's decision. 5 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1. And this game is over. It's going to a judge's decision. The judge's decision is in. Everything has been decided. And it is a 2-to-1 vote. Raptor won the total points of the match. Recovery won total damage dealt for that match. And the robot that won aggressiveness in this match was Raptor. Raptor progresses on into the next round. Raptor had a little bit more aggression in this fight compared to Recovery, and honestly, I think that's what did it. It hit off the hammer weapon of Recovery, and I think that's what did it. I think that's the only thing that really mattered between this fight, is that Recovery had to fight without any weapon. And I think that's what the judges talked about, and that's what made Raptor move on to the next round. So Raptor wins by judges' decision. And our next fight is going to be between HammerHead, the #1 ranked overall robots, against Titan. HammerHead is a very awesome designed robot. It is going to be appearing in Banter Wars Series 3. So look out for that. It's actually been in Banter Wars Series 2.5 so far, and it has won its first King of the Hill fight as of so far. So, HammerHead, a really powerful horizontal spinning weapon. Of course, the hammers on top of it represent the HammerHead part, so look out for that robot. It's going to be good. However, it's going up a very difficult robot for HammerHead. Titan is a low robot. It just flips. That's all it does, but it's a low robot. I don't know if HammerHead has what it takes to go up against Titan. So let's take a look. 3, 2, 1, let the match begin. HammerHead against Titan. Titan instantly goes for HammerHead, and there's the spinning blades. Can it hit off the flippers of Titan? I don't know if it can do it. Let's see. This is going to be an interesting fight. We got the 1 versus 16 overall, and there goes one of the flippers. Can I see another flipper go off? This is what I was expecting to happen. Titan can perhaps win this fight by not making HammerHead move. Getting it stuck would be the most ideal thing for Titan to do. Ooh, we got a couple of good hits from HammerHead onto the chassis of Titan. And I don't know about this one. Ooh, almost a wheel comes off. Not yet. I foresee a wheel flying off very soon. Ooh, the hammer gets stuck on the wheel. There goes the wheel. Goodbye, wheel. Titan now only has 1 wheel left. It cannot move very well with just 1 wheel. It's trying, and I think it got out a little bit, but this is going to be a pretty interesting fight. We got 2 minutes remaining in this fight, 1 minute until the flippers activates, and HammerHead's not wasting any time. It's pushing it right onto the flipper. Seems to be sort of a stalemate right now, nothing really happening. HammerHead backs off for a bit. See, what can happen. Takes a big hit, but doesn't really get the angle I wanted to do. If HammerHead can hit off both wheels, this game will be completely over because Titan would not be able to move and would be counted out instantly from there. There is somebody being counted out right now. I think it's Titan. Titan still can move, but not really any directional movement, which is a very big topic, very big controversy topic this season in RoboMania. And nothing's really happening right now. Another count out, not sure who it's on. I think it's on Titan again. I think it's on Titan. The match is over, and HammerHead wins by immobilizing. Oh, there goes robots flying everywhere. Oh my goodness. HammerHead wins by knockout, or by immobilization. And we got our final fight of the episode. We got the number 2 ranked All In going against number 15 overall Chappie. Now, All In, like I was saying before, very powerful robot. It has 6 wheels altogether, which means it can very much push robots to wherever it really wants to go. The weapons on the front are very powerful as well, so watch out for All In. Very powerful robot, can do really whatever it wants to another robot. Going up against Chappie. Chappie is a little tiny robot that has a little bit of a poker stick on the front. That's all it really does. Nothing really much else to it. Let's let the fight begin. We got Chappie against All In. 3, 2, 1. Match has begun. All In kind of lining itself up, going up against Chappie, kind of pushing it a bit now, seeing where it can push. But Chappie's coming back with that aggressive poker, and if it can poke off a couple of those wheels, it's going to be a very interesting fight. And it looks like it caused little bit of damage to the side of All In. All In's just backing up at this point. It doesn't really know what to do. Oh man, Chappie's being aggressive today. Chappie really showed up for this fight, getting the other side of the wheels now, and there's probably some deflation in those wheels, causing the robot not to move as well anymore for All In. This is going to be an interesting fight throughout this. Chappie's being very aggressive right now. I thought All In would be in control this whole fight, but it looks like Chappie is all in this one right now. We got him going head to head right now. This is very interesting. The spinning blade's about to be falling down. There it goes. And All In almost runs right into it, but then changes its mind last second, decides not to go into the spinning blade. But Chappie is giving it a hard time right now. It is causing a lot of damage to All In, and we might have our first upset of the season. Chappie versus All In. This one is very, very out of hand right now. Chappie is doing such a good job. We got Chappie going up against the wheels, not yet poking any of them off, but I feel like there's going to be some wheels flying out of here soon. All In is doing is backing up. It's not doing anything else. It just doesn't want to fight right now. It just keeps backing up. This is not... Oh, there goes a wheel and the protective barrier of All In. This could be our first upset of the season, guys. We got about a minute left in this fight, and we have already All In missing a wheel, getting hit by the spinning blade just a little bit, and there's some damage happening inside of All In. We got smoke coming out from the right side. All of the right side is smoking right now, and I think this match might be over. Unless a miracle happens for All In, I think this match is completely over, and it is by knockout. All In is out. Chappie moves on into the next round. The biggest upset so far of the season. Chappie, the number 15th overall robot, beats the number 2 overall robot and progresses on into the next round.